What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of Not Just Music Podcast. I'm your boy Quincy Murdoch. Thanks everybody for tuning in once again. So listen to what Quincy has to say. This one's really gonna be like a personal one, and you can just call this Q addressing situations and things. And I think a lot of times, with this podcast, we like to keep it in the realms of Black history, education. And what I'm about to speak on is educational. It can help somebody out there, it can help people. My life, my experiences. And I think we have to get out of the mode of not wanting to step out of the box a little bit, not wanting to try new things, not wanting to express different ways, holding back. I say holding yourself back because of the fear of whatever that fear is. I went to Nigeria November 2022, and before that, being here in America, right? My childhood, my upbringing, I didn't really have the best upbringing. As I've stated in previous podcasts, my father wasn't there. My mom was a single working parent. You know what I'm saying? I had no siblings. I spent a lot of time on my own by myself, which drew abandonment issues, and trauma. Uh I had wonderful grandparents that raised me and did the best they could. And I hear people say all the time, well, you had grandparents, you had a grandfather, you had a grandma, but the downside of that of my situation was my grandfather was respectfully a mean man. He was just mean. There's no way around it. So that father figure that you would say I really didn't have in a sense because you couldn't talk to him. I couldn't talk to him. And he was very disrespectful at times towards my grandmother and his kids, my mother, the grandkids, all that. He was just, and it's probably some trauma that he went through that he dealt with. And I'm not making no excuses, but it's a repeated cycle, if you get what I'm saying. So I remember like birthdays. My mom was always at work. She had to work, you know what I'm saying? She had to provide or whatnot. So my mom missed out on a lot of birthdays. My mom missed out on some sporting events, because she had to work. She had to get the bills paid. And most of the time, the birthday parties were paid by her that other people were hosting for me. I had got into this routine to where I thought certain things were normal, here in America. And I think as Black individuals, we're used to accepting the lowest amount, or we're okay with settling for less, if you get what I'm saying. If it's not to the part that it should be, or if it's something that we know deep down it could be better, we want to do better, the world will make us feel like we're stupid for wanting better. We're stupid for thinking bigger. Like a lot of dreams. I remember when I told people like I'm gonna go to Nigeria, I'm gonna go to Africa. People thought I was crazy coming from here, Statesville, North Carolina, in America. People thought I was crazy. And instead of getting encouragement, they would down you. You know what I'm saying? Like man, that's impossible. A lot of people would say. And then I said I was gonna perform. I was gonna shoot a video. People thought I was crazy. And I ended up doing that, right? And it's like when you do that, even when you overcome and you succeed and you do what a lot of people said you couldn't do, people have a tendency of being like, okay, well, do it again. And this is my question. This is my thing. I feel like it's never going to be enough for people. It has to be enough for you. If it's enough for you, if it's satisfying to you, if it satisfies you, as a man, as a woman, that's all that matters. Like, and I've came to the conclusion in my life where I'm not living for people acceptance. I live for my own acceptance. I have come to the realization that everybody's not going to be happy for me. Everybody's not going to see it as a big deal that I see big deals as. Like, people are not going to feel how I feel. So one thing that I do now is I base my happiness based on how I feel about myself and about the situation. When I went to Nigeria, man, it's like the red carpet was laid out for me. Like, y'all can go and look on my page because the anniversary is coming up. It was November of 2022. I went for my birthday. I had got booked for a show. Courteous of Freaky Legos, LJ Entertainment. I wanted to shout them out because they really looked out for me. But I got booked for a show there, and man, it was wonderful, man. I had a show the night before my birthday, and they let it lapse into 12 o'clock on my birthday, and they surprised me with a birthday cake, and I performed, and it was amazing, man. You know, I always give it my all. Everybody that knows me as an artist, they know I give my all. You know what I'm saying? So the love that I got from that experience, and then to shoot a music video, turn me on music video in Nigeria was a blessing. When I came back from Nigeria, it's like my mindset was different. You know, like how I viewed things were different. How I viewed people were different. How I viewed situations were different. And I feel like it was a wake up call. It seems like a lot of things were unraveling. Like a lot of people were showing their true colors now. I could see clearly. You know, like I know what the top feels like. I know what love feels like. I know what success feels like. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you get that high, anything that's lower below that, you know, you kick out. You kick out of your life. After experiencing what I experienced, the love and the success in Nigeria, just for a week, it changed my mind into not just settling for things, people. I deserve the best. And I can't speak for anybody else. I'm just speaking for Quincy Murdoch, but I deserve the best. That's how I always viewed it now. And a lot of people think that I've been stuck up. You know, a lot of people say Q is this, Q is that. But let's set the record straight.
What's going on? It's your boy Dewan Barino from Not Just Music Podcast. I have a very special offer for you guys via morelabs.com. If you're that type of person who loves to drink coffee, but you don't want to always drink coffee, or if you're the type of person that doesn't drink coffee at all, but needs a very much needed push boost in the morning, we have something for you. Morning recovery supplement. It is very, very useful. It is very, very highly effective. Also, if you're the type of person that, you got drunk the night before and you wake up in the morning, you had a hangover, guess what? It works for you too. All right. So at the end of the day, if you head over there to morelabs.com, we have something set up for you already at checkout. All you have to do is enter the code NJMP and you will receive 25% off instantly. How about that? Can you beat that? Head over to morelabs.com, all right? Peace.
I remember times where I was the one showing love to artists in Statesville or surrounding areas, my city. I was showing love. I remember I was the artist that if I didn't have anything positive to say, I didn't say anything at all. And it seemed like when I was humbled, when I was giving credit to other people, people took the opportunity to trash me, bash me, talk bad about me, leave me out of the conversations of the greats or doing positive things or doing good things, leaving me out of the conversation purposely. You know what I'm saying? Doing little slick slide jabs at me, you know what I'm saying? And then throwing rocks and hiding hands, and then once I responded, I'm the bad guy, you know. And I feel like I've always had that label, like as a human, I've always been labeled a bad guy. And a lot of people go off stories. Some people go off stories they've heard of me, rumors they've heard of me, and don't personally know me. You know, this is the reason why I created a movie, Quincy Murdoch, the movie, to tell my story, to tell my truth. I'm still living. I can tell my truth, and that movie was 100% true. You know what I'm saying? And people will still be like, "Oh, he's lying," or, "Well, we believe what this person says about your story." And that, like, what sense does that make? How will somebody know my story than more than me and more than God? So it's like I've always tried to be the humble, the respectful one, but it comes a point where it's like, okay, respect has to be given for it to be, you know what I'm saying, given back. So you have to respect me. I respect you. You know, that's just what it is. I've never had any problems with anybody unless they had problems with me. I never took it to a point of violence or negativity unless an individual brung that upon me. I never was the creator of situations. I never started situations. I always had the mindset that I'm gonna finish it though. If you come at me, you know what I'm saying? So you can't hit me first and then, you know, dictate how hard I hit you after you hit me. It's been a lot. That's what it's been a lot of. Like, I might just strike harder, but you struck me first. That's the purpose. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had an awakening, man, and I've been on a spiritual journey, man, and I really just been following my instinct, following my gut, following my heart. I know a lot of people been like, man, Q been missing here and there, like, you know, the church, this and that. And it's I have love for everybody that has love for me. And never take my absence as disrespect. Never take my absence as I'm mad at you. I'm mad at y'all. Whoever's watching this that might feel like Quincy Murdoch has a problem with them, listen, it's not you. Sometimes it's me. Sometimes I need that break. Sometimes I'm going through a spiritual journey. Sometimes I might be going through something that requires me to take my life away from the world. You know what I'm saying? To separate from the world. And some things people can't fix. Some things require me to fix on my own. Some things require for me to sit down and really go through what I'm going through and listen to God, get a relationship, closer relationship with God, and heal instead of just going out here just moving. That's what I think a lot of, you know, society does now. Like we sweep it under the rug. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it comes a time in life where you have to really sit in that room by yourself and you have to really look at the person in the mirror and answer those questions. Am I satisfied with who I'm looking at in the mirror? Have I done everything that I could? Have I lived up to my expectations that God wants me to be? And sometimes it's a personal battle, it's a personal journey. But this advice can go out to somebody like me. You know, like sometimes you have to separate from the world. You know, social media, people, places, things, you know, your cell phone. Sometimes you don't social whatever. Like you have to get back on track to who you are. And I've been on a spiritual journey. That's the best way I can put it. It's never been no disrespect towards people that show nothing but love for me. This is just my characteristic. This is just my character. When I'm going through something or I'm going through a spiritual awakening or whatever you want to call it, I separate myself sometimes, and I actually create a lot during that time. I channel it into other avenues, whatever that may be, music, podcasts, movies, whatever. I can express myself. In school with sports, I was an excellent wrestler. You know what I'm saying? That was one of my aggressions. So find something that you can take your frustrations out and you can use to channel your emotions, and express them other than doing it the wrong way, going out here breaking the law, getting locked up or getting killed. So this is just, I say, part one, because I don't know, I might get on here tomorrow or the next day and say something else. But this is just the beginning of me talking about my journey. Um, what's been going on with me, because as I'm encouraging y'all, remember, I'm going through life, I'm going through battles myself. And sometimes before you judge, I always remember that person might be going through something just like you. He bleeds just like me. You know what I'm saying? He cries, he has emotions just like me. We have to start having more sympathy and understanding because we want people to understand us, right? So we have to start trying to understand everybody else. So yes, it's another episode of Not Just Music Podcast. Your boy Quincy Murdoch. I hope you took some knowledge, got some knowledge from this, took some notes, and yeah, y'all stay blessed.